Hi, I'm Sally, and this is another episode of Drive-In Dishes. And today we're going to prepare tabolla. So tabolla is really good because it works for the fast, but it works all year round too. You can have it anytime, lunch, dinner, and it's light, it's easy to make, and that's what we're going to try out today. So we're going to make enough for about 4 people. And so for 4 people, we're going to need about a 1/4 cup of dried bulgur wheat, which is also called borgol, but I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is what borgol looks like. Okay, we're going to need about a 1/4 cup of this. We're going to put it in a bowl with about 1/2 cup of water for about half an hour to let it absorb all the water and kind of fill out. And I've already done that. So here's the bulgur wheat. Okay, and the bulgur wheat, can be confusing to buy it, but what you need to look for is fine grade or #1 bulgur wheat. That's what it's going to be called in the Middle Eastern markets. You can also just find it at your local grocery store now. We're also going to need about 3 bunches of fresh parsley, and curly parsley is what it's traditionally made with. So here's our curly parsley, and I've chopped up a little bit of it already, but I'm going to chop a little bit more of it with you now. We're going to need about 2 tomatoes, and you want to dice. So here's the thing, is the finer you dice it, the better it is. So you want the parsley really chopped very small, the tomatoes diced very small, and then we're also going to need, about 10 green onions, and you're going to slice those up really thin. You don't want to do just the whites of the green onions. You want to do the whites and part of the green stem of the green onion. It makes it really good. All right, so what else do we need? We're going to need some salt and some pepper, some olive oil, and about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And so you're going to need about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And that's all you need, pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to chop the parsley today, and this is what the curly parsley comes in, this bunch here. It's usually a little bit bigger. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to chop off those stems, because you really don't need those stems. There's 2 ways to chop it. I'm going to show you how I just chop it with a regular knife, and then I'm going to show you how to chop it with a mandolin slicer. Not everybody has a mandolin slicer, and that's okay, but we'll try both. All right, so we're going to try a little bit here with the mandolin, and we're going to chop up a little bit of this parsley here. So you want to hold it in a really tight bunch here. It's going to make it easy for you to chop. And then just take your knife, and just like in a seesaw method, try not to cut your fingers, but really, it's not that hard to do this. Okay, so I've gotten like my first chop, and then I'll give it another chop here to make it really small. Remember, the smaller the pieces of parsley, the better, so that all the flavors blend really well. Okay, so that's enough. We're going to do that with a knife, and then I'm going to show you how to use the mandolin. Okay, that's a mandolin slicer. And this is actually pretty easy. So you just go back and forth here. You don't have to worry so much about chopping your fingers off. And you can go back and forth. Make it really fine. We don't really want these stems in here. I'm going to take out these stems. And we just go back and forth. And the same thing, the same mandolin slicer, we're going to use it, you can use it for molokhaya, you can use it for a lot of herbs and greens that you want chopped up really small. Okay, so there you go. You have 2 ways of chopping up the parsley. Let's just get the rest of it here. Looks pretty good. Okay, so that's probably the hardest part. Like I said, we've already chopped up the tomatoes and the green onions, and we're just going to basically throw everything together. We've got some of our parsley here. Okay, and some parsley here. Again, we don't need these stems. Okay, we've got the parsley in, we've got the tomatoes in, the green onions. We put in our bulgur that's been absorbing the bulgur, which has been absorbing all that water. And I have a little bit too much water in here, so I'm just going to kind of try to drain the bulgur wheat and make it nice and dry. We don't need a lot of extra water in our salad. I'm just draining some of that water off. Okay, mix it all together. And you know, a lot of people do this differently. You know, I like tabolla. My tabolla, I like it with a lot of parsley. Some people like it mostly bulgur wheat and very little parsley. But this is the way I like to do it. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. So here's our salt. And here's our pepper. And we'll do, you know, I said about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which ends up being just a little dollop like that, a couple of dollops. Put some fresh lemon juice on it. Make sure you take out the seeds so that nobody chokes on them. And a tablespoon of lemon juice turns out to be about a half-size lemon like this, a half of a lemon. So we're going to squeeze that on there and mix it all up. Here's the tabolla. Bilhana wa shifa. See you at the next episode.